Starting with, right now today, based on your perspective, what are you telling people? What are what's coming next? What's really happening now? And how can someone watching this utilize that based on your unique perspective?
Sure. There are a couple of big themes, and I'll try to keep them concise, but then we expand if you like. The biggest thing going on in the world, but it's slow motion, so it's not. I'll describe it for you, but don't think that the world's going to come to an end tomorrow. It's not. At least I don't expect it. It's funny when you're in my position. People, because I've got the books and I'm active on Twitter and I'm on TV and I'm kind of out there a lot. But people love to put words in your mouth. They'll say, "Well, Jim Rickards says that world's coming to an end. Sell everything, buy gold." Well, I've never said any of those things. I don't believe any of those things. I don't believe the world's coming to an end. We may go through financial crashes and panics, and you come out the other side and the world is different. Yeah, that could happen. I don't say sell everything. I say. And buy gold. I say buy some gold, have a slice, but there's plenty of room for diversification in your portfolio. But the biggest thing going on right now is debt. And in particular, is debt a good thing or a bad thing? Well, it depends what you do with the money. If you borrow money and you can invest it at a higher return, create productivity, make your money back and pay back the debt, that's just fine. Manage it well and invest it well. And there's nothing wrong with debt. Most of the so-called money supply isn't money, it's credit. But on the other hand, if you borrow the money to pay your bills, don't have any more money coming in, don't know how you're going to pay them next month, and you're going to have to borrow more, you're probably heading for bankruptcy. So debt is not good or bad. It can be either depending on how you use it and how you manage it, and is your debt burden sustainable. So how does this apply to countries? And again, going back to my experience in the 80s with the government bond market, which I've stayed current with. Well, and I have a chapter on this in my new book, Aftermath is chapter 2. A lot of people kind of imagine, well, George Washington got sworn in 1789, and he borrowed some money, and it kept going up and up and up and up, and here we are with President Trump, and we got $22 trillion worth of debt. But almost as if the national debt just went up the whole time. That is not what happened. First of all, Washington had national debt before we had a nation, before he was sworn in, because they had Revolutionary War debt that was unpaid when George Washington became president. And so he says, well, what should we do with this debt? And of course, the Congress at the time said, well, just don't pay it. It's the American way, just don't pay it. And it was Alexander Hamilton who turned to Washington and said, no, what we do is we borrow more. We use that money to pay off the old debt. Now we've established our credit. We can borrow more to pay off the new debt and just keep going. And that was the invention of the government bond market. It's been going strong for 230 years. So Hamilton understood that credit could be a good thing, again, always provided you put it to good use.
You aren't stuck. There is something you can do to claim the life you want. Wealth breakthroughs can change everything. Yours is waiting. For the first time ever, Mastering Wealth is about to go from hard to easy with Wealth Breakthroughs.